No, it didn't take me long to want to say something. Not long at all. And the first thing I'm going to speak about is something that I really don't understand. I have family members that are Trump supporters. The whole thing defies reason, is nonsensical, and is against their best interests. Why do I say that? Black men and women are seen as lesser than. Their brains are thought to be smaller. They're tagged as non-intelligent, unintelligent, low brain capacity, where someone famously said that if they knew that it was a black pilot, they would reevaluate whether or not they were safe. They, as long as I can remember, our place in society, depending on, now there are people that are famous and that are wealthy that, yeah, it gets them into places. It makes people say, oh, but it's Oprah. Oh, but it's Michael Jordan. Oh, but it's Michael Jackson. So they're willing to accept them because of their celebrity. But Oprah can still have the same experience as a black woman that is unknown. When she's not made up, she tries to go to a store and deny her entry. It's a fact of our society. This guy, I call the Orange Beast, he took out a full-page ad condemning some young men decades ago who were found to be innocent. He said during rallies, you know what we used to do back in the day? We know what he was referring to, finding a relative dangling from a tree. He refused to rent to black residents, people that were applying to live in his buildings. He refused to rent to them. There's a full-blown objective to reduce the population of the U.S. to 100 million people. Those 100 million people that they're thinking of don't look like you and me. They don't look like my nephews. They don't look like my nieces. They don't look like my cousins. Even though these people, they want to think of themselves as the chosen race. Some of them, I'm just like, there's something wrong with the genetics. If you're the chosen one, something's wrong, because if you're the best example of what this world has to offer, there's something wrong. And the reason why I have such a, fundamentally, where I disagree with their stance in supporting this person is that this person loves dumb voters. This person fails at whatever he's trying to accomplish. There were so many promises made during his run for president during this last election, but he's run the country like a business, and he's failed at being a businessman. He's failing at the war in Iran. He's failing with the prices of eggs, which, another thing, that's going to be another video. I'm sorry, but if that is where you draw the line, the price of gas or the price of eggs versus human rights issues, that says something upon itself. But to see where the tokenism of having black and brown people standing behind him and seeing him like, I love Mr. Trump, and a Hispanic voter, and then all these people saying, I didn't think he'd deport me. I didn't think he'd deport me because I voted for him. I'm Hispanic, but disappeared. I'm black, and I've never been to Jamaica, but I've been deported to Jamaica. I've been deported to these places I've never been in my life. Someone that said something recently where they're like, oh, there's two different realities. There's the reality of you're living your life. This has not affected you, truly affected you yet. right? It hasn't truly affected you yet. So you're not really bothered by it. You might be a little bit annoyed by it. Oh, I got to pay a little bit more, but it really hasn't hit home. It really hasn't hit you where you actually had something either tragic or something you can't come back from happen to you. So your reality has not been truly affected. And then there are those whose reality is affected every single day, and this has hit them. This has, where they've been separated from their families, where they've been deported somewhere, where they've lost their home, where they've lost their job, where they don't know where their next meal is coming from, where they can't afford health care, where they can't afford child care, where they are victimized by their supervisors. There are people that have the reality of in the moment, real life consequences or real life experiences that they are now going, oh my God, I made a bad decision voting for this person. And to that I say, why are you surprised? Why are you truly surprised that this happened to you? He didn't change. He just fed you all of these things, and you wanted to be like, I would rather vote for someone who was, yes, he was not exonerated. He was, a judge found him guilty of raping someone. He did rape someone. I'm going to bleep that out. I hope I bleep it out. I hope I remember to bleep it out. He did R-A-P-E someone. Grape someone. Some people say that. And they would rather vote for him. They would rather vote for someone that is, if you're religious and you follow the 10 Commandments, how many has he broken? They still voted for him. He makes fun of people with special needs. He cheated on his wife while she was pregnant. They'd rather vote for that person than a black woman. Say what you will about Kamala, and to be honest, she was not my favorite as far as like who I would want as my president, but she is a far cry better than what we have there now. Never mind the fact that, I think she won. But still, that brings me back to why I think my family members voted for him. And I think that it falls in line with the whole machismo, mansplaining part of it. And it makes me emotional because I'm tired of people voting against their best interests. I'm tired of black and brown people falling for some shit because of one issue. They're not looking at the bigger picture. They're not looking at the harm that it's going to cause someone else, because quite frankly, they don't care. They don't care unless it's the reality of it affecting them directly. And it's a sad thing to say. It is a truly sad thing to say and to come to terms with, but that's what it is. So to my relatives that still follow this truly flawed, quite frankly, I believe fundamentally evil person, while you know that family members have economic hardships, and knowing that, well, if it happened to their daughter, their son, their sister, their brother, if something happened to them, would that be a wake-up call for them? So for me is, I don't know. And that's what makes me emotional, because I don't know that they would still say that this is the wrong person for the job. I know that there are other people that have relatives that they've just stopped talking to, because of their stance and because of their support for Trump, because they cannot stand behind a fascist. They cannot stand behind a person that is wants to rig elections and wants to turn back. Well, hell, there's a lot of decisions that the corrupt Supreme Court has done that is like, oh my, hurts my heart. Hurts my heart and makes me extremely angry. Extremely angry that they are doing this to citizens when they're supposed to be, they're not supposed to be kowtowing to, I don't care what party you're with, you're letting politics get in there. You're supposed to look at the law, you're not supposed to like rewrite things because you're the orange monster, the orange beast wants you to toe the party lines. And Clarence Thomas, he's not a black man. Don't be fooled. Yeah, he's got melanin, but he's not a black man. Clarence Thomas doesn't care if my nephew gets deported. Clarence Thomas doesn't care if my niece is attacked or targeted or deported or loses health care. They don't care about it. All he hears, he says he can't pay for child care. We can't pay for that kind of stuff. You know, we can't afford it because we need it for the war. Yet, family members believe that. So some people have distanced themselves. They don't talk to family members. You know, these are family members I really don't talk to on the regular. So maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it does. Anyway, that's it. Please subscribe. Please. I'm trying to grow this. Trying to grow this channel. Yeah, you're on Jane Cable Global, but if I get to a certain point and you want to hear more content like this, which I will be posting more. If you want to hear more content like this, I may do my own individual channel with this content. All right. Till next time.